Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23 and verse 4. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, and double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to our Lord's elect, the house of David. It's the brother Aharon coming back at you with a quick lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and I believe today is the 3rd or the 4th, 2025. All right, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgment on Esau. Okay, as coined beautifully by the elder apostle Tahar. All right, and as we're inching closer and closer to the end of this man's kingdom, all right, we're starting to see him showing his horns on a daily basis. All right, going from all these so-called laws and legislations that they're passing, all right, in order to do away with the ability for people to question and also to raise alarms on their agendas. Okay, and I have an article here that is pretty much sums up what Esau is planning to do all throughout America, Babylon the Great, and around the world. All right, as we know, the World Economic Forum, headed by Klaus Schwab, already made a declaration that, you know, their war against humanity isn't just through, you know, the food system or health per se, but also through total control, right? Something known as a panopticon. Okay, their ability to, you know, listen to everything you say, you know, watch everything you do. All right, but they want to take it to a whole nother level. Okay, in fact, they want to get devices into your body that will tell them exactly what's going on in your mind and so on and so forth. All right, but there are always incremental steps that leads to that. All right, and this is one of those incremental steps. All right, like we've talked about before, something going into the Big Brother is watching, that whole concept. Right, eventually it doesn't become a concept, it becomes a nightmare. All right, a reality. And seems like that reality is taking shape on a daily basis, right? The article is dated November 17, 2023. Okay, and it says, New York announces it will take citizen surveillance and censorship to the next level. All right, and this is all being done through problem reaction solution. All right, you had this Louisiana situation, and they said that now they have all these cameras that be reading license plates. Okay, now over there in China, all right, they're not just reading license plates; they actually have technology and cameras that can actually pick apart people by the way they walk and so on and so forth, man. Okay, facial recognition cameras and so on and so forth. All right, so that technology is already out there. All right, it's just a matter of time before it comes here into Babylon the Great. All right, so it says, like the plot to a dystopian movie, New York will now monitor social media writings, collect data, and use law enforcement to crack down on any expression it deems to be hate speech. Okay, and we know hate speech is very broad, very vague, and that's done by design, right? Because it's something that's subjective, right? What one person might deem hate, all right, another might deem love. You see, and when you live in a world where everything is turned upside down, then you know that what is called good will be called evil, and what is called evil will be called good. You know, so when they say hate, really what they're saying is the truth, all right, should be deemed as evil, you know. And if you question anything that these devils are up to, then you know you're causing harm, and therefore you need to be stopped. Okay, so that's their thing. That's what they're trying to push. All right. So it says here, New York Governor Hackey. Yeah, this damn demon, man. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced on Monday that the state will ramp up surveillance efforts of social media accounts and that law enforcement will take proactive measures, including contacting people on suspicion of using, quote, hate speech. Okay, so it starts online and then it bleeds into the real world, right? Where very soon you're not going to be able to speak your mind, all right? And when these devils are done setting up their system, everyone is going to want to speak against it, but they're not going to be able to because you're going to be serving some time in prison. Okay, as it's written, some of us are going to be put into prison 10 days. All right, be not troubled. Okay, so there's going to come a time, and the time is fast approaching, where reading the scriptures will be outlawed. Okay, speaking the truth of the Bible will be completely outlawed. All right, as is happening in different countries in Europe and so on and so forth. Okay, it says Hoko cited the rise in anti-Semitism activity in New York, and especially New York City, where the world's largest population of Jays outside of Israel resides. Hoko also mentioned alleged Islamophobic incidents, which she claimed were increasing and going underreported. Okay, so it's almost like an oxymoronic thing that they're doing, because here it is, you got two main people that are going at it on the world stage, right? You have those who practice Judaism and those who practice Islam, right? And from what we know, you got the Palestinians and so on and so forth against the Jays, all right? And these two are going at it to the point where the Jays are wishing death upon Palestinian people. Okay, you got TikTok videos and all kinds of videos going around showing these Jays or the descendants of the Jays, all right, saying that, yeah, this is good that, the Palestinian children are being slaughtered and so on and so forth. I mean, they're openly coming out and saying that shit, and it's almost like, how come they get to engage in this type of rhetoric and nobody's, pushing back against it, all in the name of they have the right to defend themselves, which really this is an offensive thing. You're on a constant attack and turn around and saying that we have the right to defend ourselves. See, that's the rhetoric that they use, and the covering cast that they use to push their evil satanic agenda. Oh, we're being attacked. Oh, that's anti-Semitism, right? Which really, that's a word which should be eliminated from the English language, right? Because it serves only one purpose today, which is what? It's a smear. It's a smear thing, right? When an Edomite, a so-called Jay, feel that anyone opposes any of their satanic agendas or objectives, they discredit, that person, right? By applying that word, oh, you're an anti-Semite, or that's anti-Semitic, and they do that through all their media, the channels, and so on and so forth at their command. All right. So that they could bring that kind of opposition under control. See? And they know that the biggest opposition they have is this truth. So obviously, that's why they're going to deem this word an anti-Semitic thing, so they could be justified in coming against the men of the Lord, man. All right. And putting down the influence of the Bible. Okay. Because it goes absolutely against their satanic agendas, man. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. All right, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, down to verse 21. It says that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Right? So they create these lies to pervert justice, to pervert the truth. Okay? They set up these phony ass laws, okay, by victimizing themselves. All right, when the truth comes out on them and their plans and their agendas, they never turn around and say, oh, what you guys are saying is true. They say, oh, that's hate speech. But they can never say that what we're saying is lies, though. They can't say that. You see? But people are not conditioned to actually listen to the truth. They go with the hype. right? They go with the hype, or they cower based on that so-called fear. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's keep going. Go back to the article. It says the governor said she would also be increasing police presence, which she stated has been focused on protecting potential targets, including synagogues and yeshivas and mosques, and any other place that could be susceptible to hate crimes or violence, right? So once again, that's subjective, okay? What the hell is a hate crime? It's all something that was made up. Again, they have to make up these buzzwords, okay? Like the phrase conspiracy theorist. That's a buzzword. If somebody hears a conspiracy theorist, it shuts down their mental faculty of comprehending the topic at hand. You know, right then and there, oh, that's good, I'm not listening to that. You know? It says, as part of that, Hoko explained, quote, "We're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance efforts." Okay, that's always been the goal. All right, but they have to, soften the people and have the people allow them to do these things by saying, "We're doing this to protect you." See? It says, "What's being said on social media platforms, and we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about online on online platforms. Our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others, and all this is in response to our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe, because personal security is about everything for them." Yeah, but why the hell does the government think people are children? You know, like, we need to do things to protect you people. Meanwhile, people are going about their lives. You think they care about what somebody's going to say to them, and that's going to make them feel unsafe? Most people are not worried about that. Most people are worried about how they're going to pay their next bill. They're not worried about what somebody's saying that makes them feel unsafe. That shit is just made up propaganda, once again. You see? And with the next few steps that they're about to take into their so-called New World Order agenda, they don't want people blowing up their spot like that. Okay? What did Gil Bates say? He said the one thing that stopped, that hindered their push for everyone to be Vanessa'd was so-called online misinformation and disinformation. Okay? All these things that we're saying that's catching fire and raising the alarm bells, basically the warnings that were given the rest of the world, okay, that's what they deem as hate speech. Okay? So they're going to tie it all in. They will tie it all in. They're going to create these false flag events and use it as a catalyst to say, oh, see, this is why we have to have these measures in place. This is why every vehicle must have, we must be able to scan your vehicle registration and licenses and so on and so forth. We must know who's driving each car so we can avoid cars from driving into public places to run over people like Louisiana. You see, this is why we must have a digital ID so that people who are online can prove their identity, so we know who's saying what, when, and where, to protect everybody. See? Meanwhile, the crimes are increasing. You notice the more they come down with these so-called safety measures, the less safe society really is. See? It says, she stated that everyone must work together, adding, quote, "If anyone thinks that they can get away with spreading hate and harming other New Yorkers and violating the law, you will be caught. You will be caught here in the state of New York, because we are ramping up our resources to ensure that everyone can live freely." So that doesn't make sense. Okay, you can live freely, but we're going to be watching everything you do and watching everything you say. So you're living freely, but you're not really free to say anything you want to say. It's all bullshit, man. All right. And the people need to, well, they will not do it, but they need to band together and say, yo, F these people Get the F off this platform. We don't want you making no decisions for our personal lives no more. See, that's what people really need to do. All right. Get people like Hoko, throw their asses in jail. All right, for attempting to come against the Constitution, because what they're doing is unconstitutional. Right? It says, we have been involved in this. We will protect protected speech. Huh? What? Protected speech? What does that even mean? We will protect protected speech. It says we will not protect people committing hate crimes, nor not here in Manhattan, not in any borough, not in any one of the 62 counties, not on a college campus, not in a house of worship. She told the media that the state had already, quote, increased our capacities for surveillance as well as responding to T-ism threats in the aftermath of the Buffalo massacre that occurred on May 14, 2022, which was also another false flag, right? Again, problem, reaction, solution. Okay? Whenever something happens and then they have a solution for it, they did it. Just know that. All right? That's what problem, reaction, solution means. Okay? They create the problem, and based on people's reaction, they come up with a solution that they always wanted to do, but they couldn't do, right, under normal circumstances until the problem was created. See? You can't have a solution. You can't have a solution without a problem, right? You got to have a problem first and then come with a solution to solve that problem. See? But if everyone is chilling and having a good old time and nobody is really fear of their life, then they're going to be like, nah, we good. We don't need you to put this in place. We good. We don't need the government stepping in and telling us they're going to protect us. We protect us from what? So they got to create that fear so they can come in and say, oh, this is why we got to protect you. See? It says Hoku's plan drew criticism from some who called the effort unconstitutional and totalitarian, right? And that's just the beginning. Okay, you want to go into draconian, this is how you start. Okay, stopping people from freely engaging in dialogue. Okay. It says Robbie Starbuck, who hosts a podcast posted on X, Democrat New York Governor Kathy Hochul says that her team is collecting data from surveillance efforts on social media to combat hate speech so people feel safe. She might as well tear up our Constitution. Yup. It would be a faster way to get the point across that she's violating it. End quote. See? Last month, Hochul and New York City Eric Adams, another corrupt piece of shit, demanded that social media platforms monitor speech and shut down incitements to violence, with Adams insisting, quote, these guys are experts. If they don't want to do their job of policing themselves, I really believe it's time for the federal government to step in, end quote. See? It says the calls come as Europe ramps up censorship of alleged hate speech, including pressuring ex-owner Elon Musk to censor the posts of online users. Many European nations now have laws that have made the expression of religious beliefs to be viewed as banned speech. See that? This week, Finnish member of parliament, which is Finland, right? Päivi Räsänen and a Lutheran bishop were acquitted after 4 years of trials and investigations simply for sharing the biblical view on marriage and sexuality. Okay, let's get that real quick. See, we're inching closer and closer to that time. Okay. Let's see. We're inching closer and closer to that time. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Right. And that is what's being built up right now. Okay. To be able to come up with or to make a case that, oh, what you're saying is so hateful that you ought to be arrested and put in jail. See, these are the steps that leads to that. All right. When they're saying that we're going to be coming to you and using the police to come after you for what you say online, this is the steps. Okay. It says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried, right? These guys are going on trial for 4 years and shit, right? Ye shall have tribulation 10 days, right? Tribulation. So that's the torture methods and so on and so forth. Okay. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, right? So they're going to want us to denounce what we're saying and, test us and push us to the absolute end. But those of us who maintain our faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we're going to pass that test. Okay? Because what we're saying is the truth. We're not lying. We're not making this up. Everything we're saying is true. And that's why they're going to come against us. Okay? Because if we're just saying some bullshit, they wouldn't care. Because it wouldn't matter. See? It says, and in the UK, an army veteran will soon be tried for silently praying for his deceased son outside of an abortion clinic. See that? So those are the things that they're trying to bring over here to America, right? But they have to find a way to circumvent that so-called constitution. Okay? It says, in the U.S., politicians have demanded internet censorship and have even engaged in it themselves. For example, the Supreme Court will hear Missouri v. Biden, a case which has shown that the federal government coerced social media platforms to censor content it disagreed with, even if the content was true. There you go. Okay, so it's not about hate. It's not about that at all. It's about you or us spreading information that goes against the so-called narrative. That's it. Okay? Especially when they have an agenda. They want people to believe the bullshit and the lies and the fear tactics. And here we come exposing all that with facts. They're going to be like, oh, that's hate speech, man. Don't allow this shit. Even if it's true. All right, let's get this real quick. This is the times that we're in, man. It's the times that we're in. It's crazy. It is crazy. Let me see real quick. Here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay? Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. All right. Verse 23, jump down real quick to verse 23. It says, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Right. See, so all these steps that they're taking, is all going into that. Okay. Flipping everything upside down. And those who have the eyes to be able to see it and have the spirit and the courage to speak against it, they're going to come down heavy on us, man. It says Jonathan Turley, a constitutional law professor at George Washington University and free speech advocate who has written extensively on the issues of censorship and limitations on speech, has cautioned the U.S. against adopting European censorship laws that allow governments to stop people from saying things that governments oppose. Okay, so I thought it was about protecting people. Oh, hate speech, we're here to protect. Now you're seeing what it's really all about. Speaking against the government. That's it. Okay. See, they do that to the media, though. They just say, we'll strip you of your credentials. You can't come into the White House no more and ask none of these questions no more. So because people are afraid of that, they go ahead and just go along to get along. But the prophets were not so. Okay. We're not looking for their approval. We're just here to tell the truth. And that's it. Whether they hear or whether they forbear. Right. We're just giving them the warning from the Heavenly Father. Okay. And the judgment is coming. It's coming. That's why they lose in sleep. They think by stopping us from speaking it, it's just going to stop the whole thing. Nah, game is over. It says, despite what many think, quote, hate speech, which is subjective, is protected both by the Constitution and by Supreme Court precedent, according to Turley. Okay. Yep. So that's I think that's pretty much it on that part. It does have there's a little bit more on here as well, you know, going into some examples that they have, but the point has been made. All right. Just want to bring this out real quick just to show you that, you know, we're inching faster and faster. All right. Towards this so-called dystopian nightmare, if you will. All right. And just like China, where you can't you can't say anything against the government. Everything you do is being watched and recorded and so on and so forth. That's coming here to America. Okay, that's coming here to America, man. And they're not playing. Okay, they're not playing. Esau is definitely about to make his move, man. All right. There's the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb." Horns represent power. "And he spake as a dragon," right? Dragon going into what? Draconian. All right, Draco. Okay, that cruelty is going to be shown very soon. Okay, it's all done through deception, and then they get you to that point where now you're like, damn, I can't believe this was all what the plan was from the beginning. I should have listened to those prophets. It's going to be too late. You know, it's going to be too late. And all through our history, there's been countless evidence or countless examples, I should say, okay, of governments when they reach a point of complete and utter evil, they try to do away with anyone that might speak against that evil. Okay, look at what Jezebel was trying to do with the prophets. Okay, look at what in the book of Nezer. All right, when the 3 holy children wouldn't bow the knee, what did he do? He said, "Nah, we're gonna cook your niggas." You know, and so many different times in history. Look at the time of Antiochus. Okay, and the Maccabees. All right, we have our new laws, and if you don't bow down, we're going to come after you. Look at the time of Haman, wicked ass Haman. Okay, the Jews don't want to bow down. They have their own laws. They don't want to, you know, subject themselves to our new world order. We gotta cook them. We gotta take them out. You know, so all through our history, you've had that, and they're about to do it again. So of course, they want to set up a stage where those of us who might have the courage to stand up against it, as is written, the Lord said He has reserved unto Himself 7,000 men that will not bow the knee unto the image of Baal. Okay, so those men, they know that there's spirits in this earth that will not comply. And what they want to do is, if we can cut them off or make an example out of them, then the rest of the people are not going to have the courage to stand up against our wicked, oppressive regime. But again, the game is rigged. All right, the game is rigged. And it doesn't favor you devils. Okay, it doesn't favor you devils. All right, this is definitely the end times, man. And Esau is doing everything in his power to maintain whatever he got left. Well, it's game over, man. All right, see if I can get one more precept, and we're gonna close it out. All right, this is the book of Psalm, chapter 104, and verse 14. It says, "He suffered no man to do them wrong; yea, He reproved kings for their sakes, saying, touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm." Okay, so the truth being sent out has to go out. And once the job is done, the Lord Himself will shut the show down. Okay, and He's going to grant His men that spiritual power to be able to combat against Esau and his flood, his army. Okay, the unrighteous decrees that they're going to set up here, we're not going to comply with that. So there's going to be consequences. But with that comes power. Okay, from on high. All right. So that showdown is definitely going to be something epic, man. You know, the spiritual battle is going to turn physical eventually. Okay, and just like how we've been winning the spiritual war, we're going to also conquer in the spiritual, in this physical battle as well, when the time comes. Okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna lead off there. Lord, and you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, the water Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.